today's lecture about branding strategies. Branding is a very important concept in advertising and marketing. And today, this is going to be the focus of our lecture. In this lecture, we are going to talk about what is a brand, what is branding, what is the importance of branding, and also about the different elements of branding strategy. We are going to talk about concepts like brand identity, brand image, brand proposition, and so much more. Let's get started. First, let's ask a very basic question. What is brand? Brand, the word actually comes from the ancient word brander. Brander is a Norse word which means to burn in. So this refers to the age-old method of marking cattle using burning iron. When we talk about brand, normally there are certain things that come to our mind. For example, it can be logo of a brand that you really like, or it can be a tagline, slogan, or it can be a jingle. But this is just one mere aspect of brand and branding. There is so much more to what is actually a brand. So branding refers to a combination of feelings and experiences that a consumer has in relation to an organization. It is a very, very important and valuable asset for any organization. And all organizations strive to build a very positive and effective brand for themselves. Branding can be something like a promise that the brand makes to the consumers. It is a commitment. You keep up the commitment, you have a very good branding strategy. You fail to do so, your brand has a very negative impact in the minds of the consumers. Okay, moving on, let's talk about why branding is important. Let's do a very simple task to understand this. So take some time and think about your daily morning routine. So what happens in your day-to-day routine every morning? Let me share mine with you. I get up and like most of you watching the video, the first thing that I do is look at my notification. I use a Samsung phone. I bought the phone very recently and I think Samsung is one of the trustable brands of smartphones worldwide. And then I brush my teeth. I use an Oral-B brush and a Colgate toothpaste, both of which I feel is very trustable and has very good results. And then I drink sometimes Horlicks or Boost. You know, based on their advertisements, it has higher level of protein and things like that. And then moving on, I take bath. I use Synthol, a brand of soap, to have my bath. And then finally, I get ready, I have my breakfast, and then I go to my work using a cab, which I book through Ola. So I feel that Ola has cheaper rates in comparison to other similar platforms. So this is just 1 or 2 hours of my daily morning routine. And like you would have already noticed, I had mentioned around 6 to 7 brand names. So this is the case with most of you. Most of you get up and in your day-to-day routine, you make use of so many brands. There are numerous brands, and in fact, on an average, a person comes across 5,000 branded message every day, every single day. So this shows the level of importance that branding has in our life. On a day-to-day basis, we are constantly making ideas and perceptions about different products that we use. And this is what branding is all about. The organization which provides you with these products, they try very hard to have positive image in your mind. And this is the entire concept of branding. So now let's look at the importance of branding. First, branding helps you in differentiation. So by differentiation, what it means is basically brands help you in identifying the product of a particular brand and in differentiating it from the rest of the other products in the market. So we have so many different products of soap, right? But I still use Synthol, and you might use some other brand of soap. Why is that? Because we know that this particular product is from this brand, and this brand is going to offer me something. So it can be anything, quality or quantity, whatever it is. Right? So branding helps in differentiating a particular brand's product from that of the others in the market. The second thing is reliability. So when there is a brand that has a very good image in the minds of people, that over a period of time created positive experiences for people, it automatically tends to have a very, very reliable perception in the mind of people. So there are so many different salt brands, but I still use Tata Salt because I think it is very pure, it is very safe. So similarly, when you have a brand, when you form a sort of relationship with the brand, you tend to trust it more and you tend to buy the brand's product more often. And the third one is it helps in decision making. Like I had just stated, there are so many different types of brands and products out there in the market. So it's going to be very difficult for a common man, for a consumer to make decision from all these different choices. But branding makes this process very simple. So when there is a very good brand with very good branding message and marketing message, which has given a sort of trust and reliability, people automatically tend to buy the product of these brands rather than searching and researching information about the numerous products in the market. And finally, brands help in promoting self-concept. So everybody has a self-concept about your own self, our own self, right? Some people think they are very friendly. Some people think they are very strong. So similarly, brands like people have a personality for themselves. Certain brands are very adventurous. Certain brands are very glamorous. So we tend to buy products of brands which we can easily relate to. And this way we promote our own self-concept. So together, these are the importance of why branding strategies are necessary for any business or any organization for that matter. So moving on, we are going to talk about how to build a brand. Now that we have discussed why branding is important, let's now focus on how we are going to build a brand. Building a brand is not an easy task. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years and years of effort and hard work to build a very strong brand. But there are certain elements and strategies which you can focus on to build your brand effectively. And that is what we are going to look at now. So these are some of the very important elements of branding, and we are going to look at each one of them individually. So first, let's talk about the concept of brand image. So brand image is basically a collection of thoughts and ideas being formulated about a brand's attributes, benefits, and its association. So this is, to put it in very simple terms, you think about a particular company and what is the first thing that comes to your mind? What is your perception about them? So that is your brand image. So this is, like I said, this is not something which is created overnight, but rather it is created over a period of time based on the branding messages that you get from the company, based on your own personal experiences with the brand, based on how their products and services have met your needs, or maybe not. If they have not, then you're going to have a bad brand image in your mind. So together, all of these is going to create an image in your mind. So let's have a look at these logos, and what is the first thing that comes to your mind? So think about it. Take some time. These are very popular logos. When I look at the first logo of Coca-Cola, I think about enjoyment. Coca-Cola is a very happy brand to me, very refreshing. So that is the first thing that comes to me. And when I look at the Apple logo, I think it is a very innovative brand. They have highly innovative products which are far superior. And lastly, when I think about Nike, I think about a brand which is very powerful. And, the first thing that comes to me is athleticism. So all these are the images that I have towards this particular brand. So similarly, what do you think about these brands? So I hope you have similar opinion about these brands, because over a long period of time, these brands have focused on a lot of their communication efforts, their campaigns, their products, everything to create this brand image. Moving on, the next concept that we are going to look at is brand identity. Brand identity usually is a physical or tangible element that we relate to a brand. So if you look at here, brand identity is a physical and tangible identity related to the brand that makes consumers easily identify and differentiate a brand and its product from the others. So it can be anything. So it can be something like a logo. So logos are basically visual elements that represent a brand. So we just looked at the logos of Nike, Apple, and they normally talk about what the brand represents. Again, the next thing that we look at here is taglines. So taglines are basically catchphrases or slogans that relates and associates with a particular brand and what the brand stands for. And jingles are also another important aspect of brand identity. So these are basically short tunes or songs which tend to be very memorable. Songs are normally very memorable. So similarly, jingles are a very memorable way of telling about your brand or what your brand stands for. And then we have typography. Typography talks about fonts. So the font that you use can actually tell about your brand. For example, serif fonts like your Times New Roman is very traditional. So brands which are quite traditional, quite formal, they tend to use serif fonts. And similarly, sans serif fonts are quite sleeky and modern. And fonts like Helvetica and others are used by modern and trendy brands. Similarly, colors. So colors again are a very important aspect of your brand identity. So colors, each and every color has a very unique and different meaning associated with it. For example, if you look at the color red, it denotes passion. It sometimes denotes danger. If you look at colors like orange, it denotes warmth. And blue is in fact one of the most liked colors, denotes coolness and so many other different meanings. So selecting the right color is also a very important aspect of your brand identity. And then forms and shapes. Different forms and shapes again have different meanings associated with them. Forms together are used in logos, used in other aspects of advertising and marketing. So it's very important that you select the right form for your brand identity. Again, for example, circles normally denote togetherness, closeness. Horizontal lines sometimes denote confusion. Similarly, curved lines also denote confusion. So you have to choose right logos, taglines, jingles, and all the other elements to create a very good and long-lasting brand identity in the minds of people. Moving on, I just wanted to show you an example of a brand which has used very effective brand identity elements to create a lasting impression for itself. I think you would have already guessed what brand it is. So these are some of the billboards of a famous brand. And this is also another example from the same brand. So I think you would have already guessed that these are billboards of McDonald's, the fast food chain. So if you look at the first example, we don't see the name of the brand anywhere. We just see the logo of the brand, and even the logo is not complete. We just see a part of the logo, but with just the color. So McDonald's, they have a very distinct and iconic color combination, the red and yellow. And just by looking at the color combination and half of the arch, the golden arch, you can easily predict that this is an advertisement from McDonald's. And similarly here, McDonald's again has its own distinct typography. Just by looking at the typography and the content of the billboard, we can easily predict that this is an advertisement from McDonald's. Only a brand with a very strong brand identity can have advertisements like this. Moving on, the third concept that we are going to look at is brand personality. Brand personality is distinctive characteristic of a brand that makes up certain personalities as that of human beings. Like I had just mentioned some time back, brands also behave like human beings. We human beings tend to have personality of our own, and similarly brands also do the same. Certain brands are very friendly, certain brands are kind of rugged. So all these are different approaches that they use depending on their consumers and depending on their own vision and mission statements. So basically, personalities can be divided into 5 important dimensions. The first one is sincerity. Certain brands are very sincere. They stand for trust. They stand for honesty. They stand for loyalty. So if you look at certain trustable brands in India, if you look at the top trustable brands, you will find brands like ICICI, you'll find brands like Flipkart in the list. So these are brands which are known for their trust and reliable experiences that they provide to the consumers. And the next one is excitement. So these are brands which are considered to be very adventurous, very courageous. So certain brands, like for instance, brands like Mountain Dew and other soft drink brands, they usually follow this approach and they tend to have an exciting personality. And the third one is competency. So certain brands are very intelligent, very innovative, and highly capable. So brands like your IBM or your Apple, for that matter, fall under this category. And the fourth one is sophistication. This refers to brands which are very glamorous, highly sophisticated. So you have your luxury products, like you have brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Rolex. All of it will come under this category. And finally, the last category is ruggedness. So brands which are strong and rugged come under this category. Most of your SUVs, Land Rover, and all of them fall under this category. Moving on, the next concept that we are going to talk about is brand proposition. I'm sure you might have heard of this term called USP, or unique selling proposition. So this is something that your brand stands for, a benefit, a promise that your brand provides to the customers, which the competitors don't, which makes your brand really stand out from the rest. So brand proposition is quite similar, but it includes all of the other benefits that your brand has to offer. I'm not talking about the features of your brand, but instead we are talking about the benefits. How will it solve these problems of your customers? How will it address their pain points? So that is the entire concept of brand proposition. It is basically a statement that identifies the benefits that customers derive out of a brand. It is basically like a promise that you make. And ultimately, when you keep up the promise, you have a very good brand image generated in the minds of your consumer. Finally, the last concept that we are going to discuss in this lecture is brand equity. Brand equity talks about the commercial value that a brand derives from the customer's perception rather than from the products or service that it sells. So normally, equity is a term which refers to money generated out of selling of a particular product or service, the revenue that you make from it. But here, brand equity refers to the value that your brand has because of the name that you have, because of the image that you have in the minds of the people. Because of the image, people sometimes are ready to pay more money than what they would actually pay for that product, because they really trust your product. They know that you would provide them with high level of value, so they are ready to pay a little bit of money extra. Brand equity can be achieved through certain elements. Brand awareness, high level of brand awareness means that your brand has high level of recognition in the market, high level of recall, and this leads to high level of brand equity. Brand loyalty. Brand loyalty is again a very, very important term when it comes to branding. It is always very cost effective to have a loyal customer buy a product rather than going and seeking for new customers. And also loyal customers, they tend to be persistent buyers. They constantly buy products of your brand. Even if there is a small negative experience, they don't mind it. They still buy your product. And also loyal customers tend to be marketers of your product. They tell about your product. They tell about your product in a positive manner to others, and in turn, they make others loyal customers of your product. So customer loyalty, again, is a very important metric to increase your brand equity. And finally, perceived quality. Perceived quality is actually different from the actual quality that the product or service provides. Perceived quality is what consumers think about the brand and the product and the value that is generated from the product. It can be the same as the actual quality, or sometimes much more or lesser than the actual quality. So together, all these concepts contribute to higher level of equity for the brand. With this, we have come to the end of this lecture. I hope you have learned about the basics of branding and what a brand is. Thank you for listening.